This is my discussion for the average teen activity. My committee consists of my mom, Angel, my brother, Carter, and my dad, Brad. So to first define the problem, we are hosting a president of a small third world country that's going to visit our high school. When asked what he would like to see in the United States, the president said he would like to visit an average high school and see what an average high school student in the United States does each day. So, what standards are we going to use today to describe an average teenager? Do you have any suggestions?
Well, I think it would be somebody that's real well-rounded.
Well-rounded.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Carter, do you have any suggestions?
Their grades are pretty average, high B, A's.
A/B average. Dad?
Someone that's active in school activities.
Active in activities. Or just one activity, because most people are usually just in one. So, what problems could arise when an average student meets a high-ranking political figure?
Respect and knowing the right things to do when they greet them.
That's true. So I think one thing we could work on is maybe coaching them beforehand on things to say and do. Carter, what do you think could a problem that could arise?
I think the same thing as mom, just respect, and like you said, coaching them.
Okay, Dad?
Probably just taking it seriously and making sure they understand that it's a serious event.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so since I provided you all with a list of the candidates, let's go through each of them and name 2 students who might work for this situation. So the first student, Ling Cho, is a senior, an A-plus student, in line for valedictorian, accepted to Harvard and Yale, somewhat shy but adapts to various social situations easily, few friends because she spends most of her time studying, competes in science fair activities, tutors math students, wants to take the leader to the Museum of Natural Science. So, do you have any suggestions on if she's right for this position or if she's close to an average student?
I don't think she's average.
I think she's definitely above average.
Yes, and she's probably not as relatable as an average high school student would be.
She doesn't represent the average student.
I think it would be great for the leader of the third world country to meet this girl, but I definitely don't think she's right for this position. Okay, next we're going to go to Carmen Solis. She's a senior, capital of drill team, a C student, active in theater, well liked by everyone, steady boyfriend, very social, often dominates conversation, going to local college due to financial strain on her family of 8, plans to invite the leader to a football game.
I think inviting him to a football game is a very average high school event and something that he probably hasn't experienced, so that's a good idea. And she's very relatable and well liked, and it seems like she's outgoing. But with her dominating conversation, I'm not sure that's a good idea to meet the leader.
I think she's a good choice. I think she's pretty average and would probably adapt to the situation pretty well.
Carter?
I think since she's very social, that she would communicate very well with the president of the third world country.
Okay, so do you have anything negative to say about her?
I just think her grades could be a little bit better, more
Okay.
than a C student.
And she may be one that has to be coached a little bit out about the etiquette of what would be expected from her when dealing with the president of a third world country.
Okay, so we'll definitely put a maybe by her and come back to it. So Jada Williams is a junior, AP Art. She's an AP Art. She's the president of the art club. She won several local and state awards for her artwork. On slow track until they discovered her dyslexia. Generally quiet but very personable. Considered an overachiever. Hopes to be an artist someday. And thinks the leader might like to spend some time in an art gallery and museum. Carter, what do you think?
Well, I think that she's president of the art club. She's a very good leader, but the only problem is she's very quiet. So I think having a conversation with the leader would be kind of difficult for her.
Yeah, I think that could be kind of uncomfortable for her, and it would be a, kind of an awkward position. Dad, what do you think?
I think just being able to overcome the things that she's overcome with the dyslexia is a great story and something that the president could benefit from hearing from, and I think she'd be a good part of the group to meet the president.
Okay. What do you think, Mom?
I think her being a junior is, she may not be mature enough for the situation. She does lead the art club, so she has some leadership skills, but it may be too much of a creative personality to really, it's not really average if he wants to meet an average student.
Okay, I think we can definitely put a maybe by this because I've heard a lot of positive and negative feedback. So let's move on to Bahir Haddad. He's a senior and AB student, active in debate, often advocates to change school policy for the better, competes regularly in mock trials and debates on current issues, generally well liked but was suspended last year after an emotional outburst likely related to his parents' divorce, accepted to Georgetown and plans to take the leader to a debate competition. Brad, what do you think?
I think he's another good choice. Has lived the lifestyle of a lot of students with divorced parents and could give a unique insight into the importance of parenting and what he's been able to overcome, being that he's going to attend Georgetown and seems to really have his life in hand for his future.
Carter?
I think he has just average grades, which the president is looking for an average student, so I think that would be good. And many people participate in the debate club, so debate, very common, so I think that's a good thing.
Angel?
I think he's smart, first of all, because he got into Georgetown. And with him being in debate, he can definitely have a conversation, an intellectual conversation with someone else and be able to explain to him different things about the average student. He seems to be an average student, a little bit above average, but I think he'd be a great person to do this.
I think that he's one of the best ones we've seen so far, and we should definitely put a check by him. Do y'all agree?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So, final student is Jacob Jones. He's a junior, a C student. He drives a motorcycle. He has visible tattoos. He's self-confident, well-liked by both teachers and students, good sense of humor. He started recycling project at school that has become successful and copied by other high schools, and he plans to take the leader to a recycling center. For me personally, I'm a little thrown off by the C student, visible tattoos, because I don't know how well received that will be by the world leader, but it sounds like he has his life kind of together with being well liked and starting a good recycling project.
Agreed. Unfortunately, most people judge by outward appearance, so that may be a deterrent to what the president would like to see. That's not the average student, in my opinion, but as far as having the tattoos and the motorcycle, it seems like he's got a good head on his shoulder. He's well liked by everyone, but I'm not sure if that's the image that you want to portray to the third world country leader.
Carter?
I agree with Mom because of the appearance can be most of the start of it. So him starting the recycling project, I think that's really good and puts him above average since other high schools are copying it. So I think he's pretty average.
Dad?
I think he's another good choice. I mean, I think most people now have tattoos, and it's a pretty common thing. But I think when I read his bio, it really seems like he's very well-rounded. Be easy to have a conversation with someone. He won't be intimidated by them. I think he may. For me, he's kind of the second best choice personally.
Okay. So, we'll put another maybe by him. So, out of Carmen, Jada, and Jacob, which one do y'all think is best? We could take a vote. Which one do y'all think is best for the position to compete against Bahir?
How many are we choosing?
2.
Two.
And then
Okay.
we're going to narrow it down to 1.
I vote for Carmen.
Okay.
I vote Jacob.
Okay. Dad?
Well, I vote Jacob as well.
All right. So we've narrowed it down to Jacob Jones and Bahir Haddad. So, we're going to decide on one solution. So let's talk about the pros and cons of each student and determine which one is best. So, Jacob Jones, I don't know which third world country is coming to visit, but I'm really worried about the visible tattoos and just the outward appearance, because even though it's not right, some people judge outward appearances, and I agree definitely with Mom that people are quick to judge and that might not be the best representation.
Of a first impression for that person. And I mean, if we're just doing pros and cons, Bahir has better grades. Doesn't make him a better student. Well, it kind of does make him a better student, but the grades, that's one pro for Bahir, and that he has the experience in debate. So I feel like he could, in any situation, he'd be able to adapt to what the president was wanting to talk about, and could go either way. You know, no matter what his belief was, he could adapt to that situation better.
I agree with Mom, because since he is in a debate, I think he could hold a better conversation with the president than Jacob would be able to.
Okay.
I think Bahir is probably the best candidate to meet the president overall. I think just comparing their bio, his is very impressive, but not over the top. He is a doer, and I think we'll go have a good conversation with the president.
All right. So I think we've come to a decision as a group that Bahir is the best candidate.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I think the best way to prepare Bahir for this opportunity is just tell him how important it is to set a good example, because this man or woman can go back to his country and tell them about high school in the United States. So I think we should definitely sit down with him soon and coach him on respect and the right way to act and be around him, and I think that he will be the best candidate overall.
Some of the traditions. Also, he just needs to understand the traditions of the country where the president's coming from.
Yes, for sure.
Agreed.
So I think we've come to a decision, and I'm really excited to get started on this. So that will be the end of our session.